Ready for story time with John? I'm ready.
Yes, sir. This is a story. We're going to talk about a little bit of the architects in our lives. All right. And the architects in your lives are the people that keep you organized, dialed in, locked in, and help you scale and grow your business. Now, if you were like me early on, and still to this day to some extent, but I'm getting much better, is you're probably a type A personality if you're a mortgage broker. Most of us are. And you might think that you don't need anybody, right? I'll do it ourselves. Faster if I do it. Faster if I knock it out. It takes too long. If I use a processor. Don't need an LOA. Don't need this. Don't need that. Me too. I thought that for the longest time. And turns out that as I've started to find all my architects, my life has gotten a lot easier with the architects in my life. So you might be saying, well, John, I'm not writing enough loans to bring on more people. Stop. There's third-party processing companies that you're not putting on your payroll. There's VAs, virtual assistants that you can leverage all across that are compliant. We have them through AIME as well. So do you have architects in your life? If you don't, you're going to put yourself in a weird spot down the road. And I'm going to tell you a story about a Chicago-based investor. We're going to call him the charismatic closer, Ethan. So Ethan, known as the charismatic closer, worked in Chicago's competitive real estate market for a very, very long time. Now, Ethan wasn't just a good salesperson, okay? Ethan was that person. His energy was smooth. He was relentless, an unbelievable closer. Whenever he walked into a room, all the energy was magnified and pushed towards him for one reason or another. There was never a room he entered where he didn't leave with friends. Second people met Ethan, they'd always say like they felt like they knew this guy for his entire life. When they had just met him, he just had that energy about him. Now, this guy Ethan just had the charm and could sell anything. And he had a great product, right? Just selling the real estate side of things. And he was unbelievable at making things move in the competitive Chicago real estate environment that so many people were difficult to get themselves into. He was unreal at selling the vision. Just like so many of you are, selling the vision. Now, you see, though, Ethan had a secret weapon that he learned about years into his career. He wasn't always like this, but he finally was able to put himself in this position and have people like this that just made him unbelievable. And he had a secret weapon. And you see, that secret weapon is the invisible machine behind the sales, the architects. You know, most architects you don't really hear about. Some of the famous ones you do, but when you walk into a building, their work is done. You don't know who built that building. You don't know who put it all together. You know none of it. All you know is you're walking into a building, and guess what? You feel safe going floor to floor, going on the elevators. You feel safe going up to the 30th, 40th, 50th, 60th floor in some instances. But you never met the architect. You didn't meet the people that built the building. Just the allure of the building got you there. Just like Ethan did. He is the allure. He is the person that is dialed in. Now, while Ethan was shaking hands, kissing babies, and going all across the place, hosting events and talking to people, his operations group, a team that they called the Architects, that is the name of this team, was in the background making sure every deal went through without a hitch. If there was ever an issue, a situation, or anything that ever popped up, they knew where to go, and it wasn't Ethan. It was the architects behind the scene. He had somebody there by the name of Lisa, transaction coordinator. He had Michael, the marketing strategist, Travis, the finance expert, to make sure every deal was structured properly and perfectly for the consumers. See, Ethan knew that while he was in the face of the business, things needed to operate properly on the back end when he wasn't there. Why? Because he is the charismatic closer. Why do I get passionate about this? Because I was stuck thinking that I could be the architect and the charismatic closer. It turns out I burned myself out and got irritated every single step of the way. Because as I started to scale and grow, things kept piling up, these little tasks, locking a loan, sending out documents. Oh, God, it's getting hard. Oh, I'm getting so tired. Man, these late nights, what's going on? See, that's what Ethan struggled with early on, and then he stopped struggling with it because he built the team around him. Now, one day there was a huge deal. See, Ethan one day was on this yacht, and he was on this yacht with a billionaire and just talking, potentially striking up a deal with this billionaire behind the scenes. Well, while he was on the yacht, unknown to him, there was an $18 million deal on the brink of falling apart. And they were trying to call Ethan, but Ethan was on this yacht, focused, dialed in, being the charismatic closer, the charmer he is, talking to this billionaire and all the friends that were on this yacht. That's not a situation where you can pick up your phone. Unfortunately, that phone's got to stay down. And you've all been there. I've been there too, by the way. You're at an event. You know it's a super important event. That phone goes down for me, and I know it does for you when we're dialed in. Now, Ethan's on that yacht, and there's an $18 million opportunity that's falling through the cracks. Or so people might think. Well, what happened is the architects caught wind of it because they know everything that's going on with every single deal, every step of the way. They're so locked in with Ethan that guess what? That deal didn't skip a beat. And as opposed to a disaster or panic occurring, his entire team jumped on it and smoothed everything over with that deal that was going south. The buyer was getting cold feet. Wasn't sure if it made sense anymore. His team had everything built, and they didn't need to talk to Ethan because Ethan gave him the autonomy and the flexibility and the empowerment to do their job because they're great at it. And by the time he got off that yacht, the deal was handled. Looked at his phone, tons of texts, tons of missed calls. So he calls his team. He calls Lisa, Michael, Travis. What's going on? No, we're all good, boss. All handled, my friend. We're moving on. We're getting this thing closed. You got to love you some architects. And if you don't have them in your life, you got to ask yourself why. Our job as originators is to be the charismatic closer, to be that charm, to be that peace, to bring people in, to attract people to us. And I know how hard it is, but you got to let go of thinking you can do it all by yourself. You can't. You can, but only to a certain level. If you want to reach these levels that I know you want to reach, find your architects. And if you need help finding some, let us know here at AIME. We have so many people we can connect you with and put you in the best spot possible. Be the charismatic closer, find your architects, empower them, fill them in, teach them everything, no matter how hard it is. Because I know how difficult it is to sit down and go, oh, I could have just cleared that myself in 2 minutes. I've done it. But you know what goes further? When you sit somebody down on your team that's an architect and you teach them how to clear it. And that extra 30 minutes you had to spend gives you back hours of time and makes you as effective as humanly possible. I need to be more effective as a human being, and I'm going to keep working on it. But for those that don't know, I have twins that are 18 months old. I have a newborn that's 3 months. I'm happily married. I run 2 businesses, my company and AIME. And I know I have to do more. I need more architects. And I'm working on it. I'm working hard on more architects. Because I love what I do. And I need to get as much time back as I can. And so do you. That is my story, my friends. I hope you have a beautiful day.
That hit. That was, I mean, you said it. Like, I struggle with that. I struggle with delegating things because it's like, oh no, that'll just take me 2 seconds. I'll just do this. Oh, I can do that. Oh, I do that weekly. Oh, I can do that. Yeah. I can spend 5 minutes a week. I can spend 15 minutes a week. I can spend 20 minutes a week. Here, there, task 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It adds up.
It adds up so fast, man. And you know, even this, like for those that don't know, even this entire setup you see, the StreamYard and the ads and all of this, I did none of it. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Guess who did it all? One guess. You're going to guess right. Yes, Tommy, you are correct. He did all this. But if I didn't say, like if I was over his head every time, or I want to see every decision you're making, or I want to see every layout, you think he'd be excited to put this together? No. But instead we get on the call and he's ready to show me everything. And he had it all built. He had the layouts, the StreamYard's done, the content's done, the branding strategy behind it's done, the colors are done, the scripting's done, what we're going to talk about's done. And now something that I love doing, I'm enjoying because the architect behind the scene making it happen. So I appreciate you all. Appreciate you too, brother.
Appreciate you. Cool. Let's run one ad and then we'll do a little outro here.
Fuse is just around the corner, believe it or not, another year down. And we are excited. for the largest event of the entire wholesale mortgage industry. Fuse National Conference 2025 is taking its show on the road. Now emanating from Nashville, Tennessee, from October 23rd through the 25th. This event is all about sales, sales, sales. Don't miss the chance to join us in Music City for 3 days full of the most cutting-edge content we've ever produced, featuring the industry's top minds, leaders, and innovators. Access the newest tools and resources from wholesale leading lenders and vendors. Take part in our acclaimed workshop summits for free. Catch wholesale's rising stars in their very own breakout sessions. And of course, take part in the best and, quite frankly, the most fun networking opportunities you'll find in the wholesale channel. Join us to grow your network, your skill set, and your business at what will no doubt be the greatest Fuse conference yet. Go to fuse.aimgroup.com to sign up and receive updates when tickets go on sale. Secure your hotel room and get your Fuse tickets for free. That's a $600 value for the prices as low as $199 when you sign up for an AIME annual membership. Don't miss your chance to be there when wholesale history is made at Fuse 2025. I can't wait to see you there.
All right. Wrapping things up here for episode 2. We got some takeaways to drive home. We got the broker buzz, where we learned about land loans and we learned about EPDs and EPOs and commercial lending. What's the number one takeaway thing people should take from that?
The number one thing just from this whole episode today for me has a lot to do with taking ownership of your business, not making excuses for it. Stop saying you're going to get the help. Stop saying you can do it alone. You want to grow, find the right people. They're there. I promise. You just have to sit down and work through the frustration, because I do it all the time, of having to teach it to somebody else. But the second you teach it and the second they grasp it, my, oh my, the team you build is just epic, my friends, epic.
Yeah. I think we unintentionally weaved a pretty consistent podcast of just owning your stuff, delegating to people you trust, and letting them run with it.
The architects. It started at the start of the call, and that's why I smiled. I said, yeah, falls right in line with my story today.
Yes, it does. So that does it for the podcast this week. Thanks for tuning into this episode of the Broker Power Up podcast. If you found today's tips helpful, do us a favor. Hit the like button to let us know you enjoyed it, which helps even more people see this content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe on our podcast platforms. Share this video with a fellow broker who could use a power up. Remember to lead by example, to lift each other up, to grow together, and most importantly, close more loans. Until next time, keep powering up.
Take care, my friends.